Welcome to the Hub, WRAS Atlanta, Album 88's weekly public affairs show highlighting the issues and people of the Georgia State University and Atlanta communities alike. I'm Nathan Clem. We have a jam-packed show this week on the Hub. We have Sergeant Winston Fiore. He is working with a charity called the International Children's Surgical Foundation. I'll also be talking to Tim Nichols and Craig Dongoski of the Ernest G. Welch School of Art and Design. They have a piece that's here on Georgia State's campus called 9/11-10 Strangers and Neighbors. And I will be talking to three ladies that are going to tell us about the GSU Arts Fair that's coming up. That would be Jen Waters, Helene Ehrenberg, and Rachel Chamberlain. I decided to talk to Sergeant Fiore about his so-called Smile Trek. It's a journey that he is about to go on to benefit children with cleft palates in the third world, because I was shocked to find out how many kids are born with cleft palates and what a problem it is in third world countries as far as correcting them. And it's not like here in the States where just about every kid that's born with a cleft palate gets it repaired at an early age. Overseas, a lot of times kids have a cleft palate on up through adulthood, and it never is corrected. And I thought that his approach to trying to help solve this problem was very interesting. He plans to walk on foot through Southeast Asia, 5,000 miles through Southeast Asia, to call attention to this problem and to raise money to help correct cleft palates. So let's get on to the interview. It's Sergeant Winston Fiore. All right, today here on the Hub, we have Sergeant Winston Fiore, and he is on a Smile Trek to raise money for the International Children's Surgical Foundation. Welcome, Sergeant.
Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Tell us what this is. Oh, you're on a trip here through the States, but then you're going to go on a trip overseas too. Tell us what the plan is here to raise money.
Right. Well, let's see. I got back from Afghanistan here in late March with 3rd Battalion, 25th Marines, and here in September, in less than 3 weeks, I can't believe it, I'll be headed to Singapore in Southeast Asia to commence walking 5,000 miles, a year-long hike through the region, 8 different countries in the region, to raise money for the International Children's Surgical Foundation, which is a charity that provides free facial reconstructive surgeries, most of which are cleft palate repairs in the developing world. So it's kind of a preface to that. I've been riding my motorcycle across the country. Started in Los Angeles on July 6th and rode all the way to Dallas, down to San Antonio, New Orleans, all the way down to Miami, back up to Charleston, and now I'm here, and I'm headed to Birmingham in a couple hours. So.
Oh, wow. So there's 2 trips involved here.
Exactly.
You're kind of trek across the U.S., and
right.
then you're going to walk across Southeast Asia. Like, where exactly in Southeast Asia?
So it'll kick off in Singapore. I'll spend about a week in Singapore alone just getting all my visas squared away for the countries I'll be passing through. But I'll head north through Malaysia, Thailand, passing through Bangkok, crossing Laos, Vietnam, Southeast China, and then back down through Taiwan, Philippines, Malaysia again until I return to Singapore, hopefully no more than 11 months later. It should be doable within a year.
So you've got a plan here. Why exactly Southeast Asia? Is it because there's a lot of kids that need this kind of surgery in Southeast Asia? Is that part of the idea? I imagine there's a lot of third world countries that you'll be passing through where kids can't get this kind of care very easily.
That's exactly why. Southeast Asia has, for whatever reason, one of the highest birth rates of cleft occurrences in the world. So for that reason, I wanted to focus the trek there. The charity I'm fundraising for does quite a bit of work in that region. They'll do a few missions each year in Southeast Asia, a good handful in the Philippines alone. So I wanted to cross through Southeast Asia and kind of focus the walk there.
Okay. And what kind of numbers are we talking about here? My research tells me that just in the general population, 1 in 700 kids is born with a cleft palate. That seems like a pretty high number to me.
Yeah, that's exactly right. 1 or 2 of every 1,000 kids is born with it, making it one of the most common birth defects worldwide. And it's just one of those things that you don't see too often in the States because it's something that's repaired at a very early age, and you don't see too many kids walking around with it. But unfortunately, in a lot of these developing countries, clefts hit pretty hard. And even though it's a very low-cost surgery, $240 and a couple hours of surgeon's time, that amount of money, unfortunately, remains out of reach for a lot of these families. And so kids will often grow up and spend their entire adult lives with a cleft that takes a very little amount of time and money to repair. So it's unfortunate.
So what's the goal here? How much money are you trying to raise?
25,000.
So that'd be about
100 kids. Yeah, nice round number. Actually, just got my largest donation yesterday. I spoke at a club in Miami a couple weeks ago, and they pledged to write a check for $2,000, and actually came through with it and mailed it in, and got a receipt or confirmation of the receipt from the charity yesterday for $2,000. So that has me up to almost $15,000. So and the actual hike itself will be an ongoing fundraiser over the course of the year. As much as possible, I'd like to continue presenting at Rotary clubs in Southeast Asia. And from what I understand, a lot of those clubs are expats anyway, so presenting in English shouldn't be a problem.
All right. And what inspired you to do this? I know you said you served in the Marines. Is that part of this genesis to want to help these kids, or where did you get this idea? When did it come to you that you wanted to help kids with the cleft palate?
Well, the idea for Smile Trek actually occurred in 2007. That summer, I deployed to Senegal, Africa, in Linguère inland, about 4 or 5 hours in the desert, with 2nd Battalion, 25th Marines. We deployed there for a few weeks on a training mission to train alongside the Senegalese commandos. And it was a really cool experience. It was my first time in that part of the world, first time in Africa. And a lot of the local customs that I got to witness were pretty cool and made me realize how little of the world I had seen and how much more of it I wanted to see. So I decided then and there that I wanted to dedicate 1 year to traveling a part of the world I hadn't been to before. And moreover, to do so on foot so that I could hopefully connect with locals as I had in Senegal. On the other hand, coming from a middle-class American household, it was a real eye-opener for me to witness a lot of the poverty that exists in that part of the world. And so I decided that if I was going to spend a year walking, that I could tie in a good cause, specifically something that would help out in the developing world. So got back to New York, where I was living at the time, and started doing some research. And, like I said, clefts are just one of those, complications that really hit hard. And, I really like the fact that for a very small amount of money, you can make such a huge difference, such a tangible, concrete difference in the life of a kid. So partnered with this charity, and it's kind of been a work in progress ever since.
So you're just playing this by ear. You're just hitting the ground running, seeing
what
happens.
I mean, it's, like I said, I got the idea in 2007. So, it's been years in the making at this point. I've got 2 significant preparation hikes under my belt. In 2008, I hiked from Madrid to Barcelona, Spain, which is 480 miles. And then in 2009, I hiked from Santiago, Chile to Luyaba, Argentina, which is about 540 miles, just to get some long-distance walking experience. And now it's like, I feel prepared, and, it's great after, 4 years of talking about doing it to finally follow through and get it done. And it's exciting. And like I said, I can't believe in less than 3 weeks, I'll finally be in Singapore,
Oh, it sounds exciting. Where can people learn more? Is smiletrek.org?
Yeah,
right?
smiletrek.org. So that's the hub for the entire project. From there, you can follow my progress across the states here for the next couple weeks while I'm still on my motorcycle, as well as follow my eventual progress through Southeast Asia over the course of the next year.
Thank you so much for joining us, Sergeant Fiore.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.